Good afternoon, Year 6, and welcome to Arithmetic. This will be the final arithmetic that you'll be doing from home, so I'm really looking forward to seeing all of those methods practiced so that we know what we need to cover when we get back to school. So let me share my screen. The first thing we're going to do is just go over a few of the topics from last week. So the first one is all to do with place value. We had lots of children get this right, but some getting a little bit confused. So you do not need to do the inverse. If you'll notice, if you think of the balancing scale, the answer is just at the beginning. It's not that you need the inverse to work it out. If you look at after the equal sign, it's just 100 times 100. So we know we need place value. Now, if you were to do it in the columns, we started with 100. We would be jumping 2 times because of our 2 placeholders to the left, okay, getting bigger. So the 1 would go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we have to fill in the gaps with the placeholders. Now, a little trick you can use to actually check is count up all the placeholders. There should be 4 placeholders, and then 1 times 1 is just 1. So it should be 10,000. Okay, I'm not too sure why we got, quite a few people got this one wrong, but it may have just been to do with where you were stacking up your numbers. So you must make sure you write this out like this in the correct place value, and then you can put a placeholder here ready for your subtraction. Because 0 take away 9 is not 9. You need to regroup, go next door, get 10 more. 10 take away 9 is 1. 2 take away nothing is 2. Make sure the decimal's there. 6 take away 7 also can't do that, so we need to regroup. And there, 16 then, take away the 7 is 9, the 9.2. Okay, just a quick reminder about dividing with fractions. So our acronym we use is DD, divide down. Divide means bring it down. And when we get there, we times. Okay, because that fraction, the 9th, has been halved. So my 9ths are now 18ths. They are half as small. So we leave the numerator as it was and we get 2 18ths. Now, finally, this one was the inverse. So let me just make that a little bit bigger. This one, because we have part of the equation on the left here and we have what it's equal to on the right, we do need to use the inverse. So this one would be 7 times 8 is 56 because 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember that one? It's the tricky one to remember. Okay, if you're ready for your arithmetic this week, you can go straight on to Teams. All 20 questions are there. If you are still working on paper or want to hear some of my kind of top tips, you can carry on listening to this. So here's questions 1 to 5. Questions 6 to 10. Questions 11 to 15. And questions 16 to 20. Make sure you've paused if you're working on paper because I'm about to show you the answers if you are marking them yourself. And if not, I'm going to jump straight on to working through some of those harder questions. Okie dokie. So I just wanted to do a quick reminder about bus stop method, about short division. We haven't looked at it in a little while, so I thought we would just use this one as an example. So remember to set it up here. If you needed your multiples of 7, you could do them down the side. But if not, we get started. How many times does 7 go into 6? Well, it doesn't go in at all. And we can bring that 6 over, we didn't use it. How many times does 7 go into 63? Well, I know that 7 goes into 70 10 times, and that's one group of 7 before, which would be 9 times. And finally, how many 7s go into 7? 1. Answer being 91. Just a quick reminder there. Okay, this one, more decimals, but again, I just wanted to highlight, this is not use the inverse because they have just swapped which side the equation and the answer are on. But this is whole number, take away decimal. I really encourage you to put in the decimal for the whole number 7, and therefore that is so much easier now to stack up. Okay, we are going to need lots of regrouping. So I can see lots of zeros. So I bring that 10 over, but actually I need to regroup that straight away and bring it over again. Now I can do my subtraction. 10 take away 9 is 1. 9 take away 4 is 5. Put the decimal. And finally, 6 take away 3 is 3. Okay, a couple more. We haven't talked about percentage in a while, or not with me anyway, so I thought I'd just do a bit of a recap. So, first thing we need to do is find our menu of, I hope you remember, 10% and 1%. So let me write that there, 10% and 1%. So to find 10% of a number, we divide by 10. And 280 divided by 10 is 28. And 1% is to divide by 100. So you'd be doing one more jump on that place value grid, which would give us 2.8. Now we need to decide how many we need. There are 4 tens, okay, so I need 4 of those. Probably could do that in your head, but if not, quick short multiplication. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 2 is 8. Add the 3 is 11. Now keep that number safe, you're going to need that. And there were 5 ones. We need 5 of these. Again, let's do that as a short multiplication. Decimal in there, because 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 2 is 10. Add the 4 is 14. Now, 0.0 doesn't really mean much to me. I'm going to get rid of that. So my answer is 14 and 112. So to find my final answer, add those together. 1, 2, 6. Okay, mixed number adding fractions. So first things first, we do not want to work with this mixed number. We need to make it an improper fraction. So 2 times 4 is 8. Add the 1 is 9 quarters. Leave the denominators. We've not done anything with them yet. Next step is to then choose a common denominator. There's a few choices you could have here. It could be 12ths, could be 24ths. I don't mind really. I'm going to choose 12ths. Okay, this side was times 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. My add in there before I forget the operation. This side was times 3. 9 times 3 is 27. Add them across. 37 over 12. If you found 24ths, that's absolutely fine. It would just be 74 over 24. It's totally equivalent. We don't need to turn that back. There's no need to turn that back into a mixed number. Okay, the final one I want to talk about, it's exactly the same when you're adding fractions, but when there are 3, you just need to think really carefully about your denominator. So I would think about the multiples of all these numbers, and actually if I were getting a bit stuck, I could write them down. So I'm writing down my 3s, I'm writing down my 6s, I'm writing down my 4s. Oh, and actually straight away there, common multiple there, use the lowest one, it makes more sense, is to turn them all to 12ths. So let's do this side. That would be times 4. So the numerator times 4 is 4. This one is times 2. Numerator times 2 is 2. This one is times 3, and 1 times 3 is 3. And then you can add all of those up. 4 add 2 is 6. Add the 3 is 9. Okay, so no different actually, but you just need to be really careful to find that numerator. Okay, those are the ones I wanted to go through. So head over to Teens now, your final arithmetic working from home. I'm really looking forward to seeing amazing scores, and then I'll know what we need to revise when we get back to school. Well done, guys. Really hard work. See you soon.